Pat Soundbytes IGTV. Keeping new music alive is what I do on the radio and now on video. Conducting live chats with the artists and learning the stories behind their latest release and also playing their new video. Special thanks today to my sponsor Go-Go Tuners for all guitar players looking for a focus on ease of use, readability, durability, and accuracy. Look no further. The Go-Go Tuner is the choice of many touring professionals and a favorite of casual players. Go-Go's signature green you're in and red you're out screen makes tuning quick and easy. For more information, go to the website at gogotuners.com. Special thanks to WBXO Classic Rock Radio Redefined, allowing me to keep new music alive on the radio airways on The Pat Show every Sunday from 5 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Only on WBXO Classic Rock Redefined. And a big thank you to Mr. Evan Balzer for allowing me to use his amazing instrumental that you're hearing right now. It's called Trails. To find out more incredible music by Evan, go to his website at evanbalzer.com. And my guest today, well, she's a returning guest. She is an incredible singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. Hailing from British Columbia, Canada, I'm talking my good friend Alison Solo. And last year, Alison released an album called Plutonian, which is a great album. She also had an album called Cicada. We talk about many of the tracks from both of these albums. We're going to play the video of the track called Last One Standing. We're going to talk about her upcoming plans, which is an all-acoustic album, and so much more right here on Pat Soundbytes IGTV. Hey, live on Pat Soundbytes IGTV, keeping new music alive on the video and on audio, and I got a wonderful returning guest all the way out of British Columbia. I don't know anybody in British Columbia except for this killer rocker, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and friend of mine that I could call a friend. I think I could call you a friend. I know I can call you a friend. And I got her t-shirt, and guess what, man? I got guitar picks because you need to support all these artists. Spend a couple bucks. Get them help pay her rent, for Christ's sake, and get them paint the bedroom or whatever we need to do. My good friend Alison Solo, how are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing fantastic, Pat, in my minimalist rock star room. I love it.
It looks great. Are you kidding me? We're still plugging Plutonian. Where is that album, Alison, you had just in your hand? The vinyl is out. Please purchase. I did see purple, right?
Yeah, let me take it out of its sleeve. So this is the special edition.
Oh, yeah. Now, how many have purple? If you're into vinyl, like I'm into vinyl, we got to get one of them. I got to buy one of them. Like I said, I got to buy a t-shirt. I got to support all the people that support me. And Alison certainly supports me. And I got her little guitar pick. I got a collection of guitar picks like right there somewhere. And she signed the back of them. So do yourself a favor. Please support great artists like Alison. Alison, where can we purchase it on bandcamp.com?
That's right. Yeah, so currently it can all be purchased on Bandcamp. I am working on getting a website together, but for now, you can get it all on Bandcamp.
And on social media, I know you're not on Instagram and Twitter no more, so you can find Alison on Facebook, and you can find her on YouTube. And please, 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 more importantly, hit the subscribe button because it's all about the numbers. Am I correct, dear?
That's right. It's all about the content first, but yes, it is about the numbers as well.
So we last talked, I want to say December 3rd, pops up on my notes here. We rocked. We had a really fun time with a great Zoom, and I threw it on the podcast. And as I told you, like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know, Alison. I don't know where you got fans all over because my numbers skyrocketed. So if you folks are friends of Alison, let's do it again. Only hit her subscribe button. You're my number 3 artist of downloads, Alison Solo in British Columbia.
I was totally gobsmacked when you told me that, to be honest, you know. I mean, it's great news.
God, honest truth. Well, it's all those great videos. Going to Cali, can't find my way home. Back from Cali. I mean, every week you're throwing out something else out there, which I think is awesome. And I've been trying to, I started like one week. I just said, you know, every day I'm going to put an artist out there with a video and just keep plugging and plugging and plugging. And Can't Find My Way Home, Blind Faith is one of my favorite songs. And I said, I got to throw that out there for her. And there's a lot of great feedback. And I've been playing Last One Standing. We're going to play that video from Plutonian and getting a lot of great reviews on our radio show.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool.
So what have you been up to now that we're like 3 and 4 months since we last Zoomed with this whole COVID thing? Are you you're okay? You're hiding out and wearing a mask and washing your hands and drinking a lot of Jack Daniels and Coke? I don't know what you drink, but wine.
Well, let's go back to the minimalist rock star thing, actually. I'm probably like the antithesis of a rock star. I'm drinking like alkaline water. Nothing too exciting these days. My elderberry tea. You know, and I think I've just been really focused on honing in on my guitar playing and building up my YouTube channel and just doing things that make me happy these days. You know, I think that's the most important thing, you know, in order to stay sane during these, you know, tumultuous and unpredictable times, right?
Right.
So I've just been like really busy just doing that, you know, and I had spent a lot of time kind of getting everything together for my vinyl release. So now that's all kind of settled. I can just focus on, you know, writing some new material. I've been playing around with some new riffs and some new ideas because I would like to release an acoustic record in 2022. So
I love it. I saw that and I got a
yeah.
big smile on my face when I saw that. What's the message in Canada with regards to touring? Can you start, if you wanted to start booking in some venues in your area, or you know, with a certain capacity of people, I guess? Or is it worth it?
To my knowledge, well, because we go by province here, so there are different rules and regulations depending on the province within Canada. And to my knowledge, I don't really think there is any live music, maybe little bits here and there, but I don't want to do anything too prematurely. Like, I'm kind of okay with just waiting, and I'm not really waiting because I'm busy doing stuff, so that when I do go out there, I'm just ready to go. And I just don't want to do anything prematurely. And I want to know that, you know, it's kind of all in. I don't really want to go in and do like anything half-ass, you know? So
Right.
I'd rather just wait and, you know, write some new material and use this time to, I guess, be prepared, you know?
Well, and you know, I think we mentioned maybe the last time, it's kind of a double-edged sword of putting out new music and unfortunately not able to tour it. But the other positive side is that the more we play it, and then when you do get to the stage, you don't have to say on the 3rd song or the 4th song. So this is a song off of my new album, and everybody runs to the bathroom or gets a drink. They should have heard it by now. So it's great to, I mean, I'm the new music guy, and I think it's great that you keep working at it and you have a goal set for next year for an all acoustic album. Of originals or covers or a mix?
No covers. I mean, I might do a cover of one of my own songs, like release like an acoustic version, maybe of a song that I previously released that I want to reinterpret, but most of it's going to be stuff that I haven't released, and it's all original stuff.
Very cool. Well, I know we got this one, which was back in, I want to say, September of 2009. Wow.
That's when it was
Cicada, which you can also purchase on Bandcamp. And Alison was nice enough to tell me I rock and signed it, and you can get one. And man, I could feel the vibe of what your influences were uh, with the songs here. I mean, one song I felt like it was Nirvana. Another was like I don't know. I'm stuck with Gwen Stefani and Alanis Morissette. A lot of anger. I think there's a lot of maybe a bad relationship got really bad that you wanted to let it all go and flush it down the toilet once and for all. I mean, when I read, Out of Fear, Stuck in Yourself, I love that song. I mean, I really like that song. I'm like, I gotta play that. You tell yourself you're in love, but you're stuck in yourself. You're not in love, you asshole. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
way I
totally.
took it. Tear Me Down. The other, I love My Divine Right. Right. I thought that was pretty cool. That's a
Thank
great
you.
track. Fading, nice guitar solo. Um, all a waste. Is that like, thank you for wasting my time, you idiot? I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're
I'm laughing about
probably
it.
right about that. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I mean, if I'm truly transparent, I actually remember the morning that I wrote that song, and
After you threw his luggage out the window.
well, I mean, well, I don't really like to admit this, but I was dabbling in drugs a little bit in my early 20s. So when I wrote that song, I was kind of coming out of a very cavernous, dark
Yeah, dark
place in the
times,
morning, and
right.
I was on like a come down or something. But yeah, I was in some pretty toxic relationships, which were just really a representation of where I was as a person, because I
Right.
think that our relationships just mirror who we are, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of that album was just illustrative of that.
Was this is your first one? The first one that you
Uh,
actually recorded?
so technically it's my second full length album. I did record a full length album. I started when I was 17 and I finished it when I was 18. I never publicly released it.
Okay.
I don't think I ever will. But there might be like a couple songs again that I'll reinterpret and like release the way I want them to sound. But that's actually my second full length album, but it's my first full length that I have released to the public. Yeah.
And now you look 11 years later, you can see the maturity. I felt the maturity in your songwriting and the songs in um, Plutonian. I mean, you could just like, yeah, this was something you wanted to do and had to do and cleared your head and get out of that darkness. But now Plutonian
Mhm.
is certainly a whole different level that, you're rocking and rolling. And obviously this is the past. When do you think about the order of the songs that you put on the album? Was there a thought process on the order? Because I thought maybe because of the title of the song, "A Ray of Sunlight," would be the last one. Like, I'm done with it, and now I'm at the array of sunlight, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Sorry, Pat.
It's
I just
okay.
lost you there. So as far as the order, I guess I'll just talk about both records. So for Plutonian, everything was done very, very methodically. I sat there like playing with the different orders for hours, and I listened to those songs probably about 1,000 times. I'm not even kidding. Like, because I just wanted everything to be so meticulous. And for me, like opening with American Dream was like the perfect introduction, because the content itself is a bit facetious. It's a bit sort of hyperbolic, but
Uh-oh.
I keep losing you, and sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So for me the order of that album is exactly how I wanted the album listened to. But when I look back at Cicada, for instance, I wasn't, well, I mean, I was very involved because, I funded that project, but I didn't produce the record. So I think that I had a little bit less agency over over certain things. Like, I don't think I gave it enough thought, and I was a little bit green. I was in my early 20s when I released that
Yeah.
album,
No,
you
that's all
know, so
right.
I don't think that I was really thinking about it the same way that I think about it now, you know.
I think you're probably more excited just to get it out, right, as an artist, than really
Yeah,
looking at all the other stuff behind it.
yeah,
And now you totally get it. This is your baby, and you
yeah,
want to do it your way with the help of obviously a
exactly.
producer. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get it. Is songwriting therapeutic for you? Is it something? Look, I got to get these things out of my things that are popping into my head about different ideas or um different things I dealt with in life so far.
Well, that's the only reason that I've ever done it. Songwriting has always been a transcendental experience for me. I think I mentioned this in another interview I did with someone, but you know, songwriting is something that I've always used as a tool to come to terms with my shadow side. And when I say my shadow side, I mean that, like, you know, our shadow side is like, it's like those aspects of ourselves that, like, maybe we've disowned, or things that we don't want to admit about ourselves that we don't like. I mean, we all have a little bit of the devil that lives within us. And when we ignore those things, they just end up actually becoming way bigger in our, like, encounters in the world, right? And I did that a lot. You know, I didn't really want to integrate those things into my essence. I didn't want to embody them. And so the only way for me to come to terms with those things was to write about them. That's the only reason I think, ever really wanted to play music, because it was completely therapeutic and, like I said, transcendental. And it was just a way for me to deal with things that I couldn't express or communicate at the time, you know. And it's still that way for me. Like, I sometimes I'll go months without writing anything, and I used to not be okay with that, but I'm okay with that now, because I know why I write, and that is why I write. It's just for therapy, you know. And
Yeah.
and if other people can feel what I'm feeling and connect with me on some level, then I mean, mission accomplished, you know.
Absolutely. No better feeling, I'm sure, for you is to be on a stage and somebody singing your songs back, and get or grabbing you at the end of the show and going, I can relate in Stuck in You. I can relate on Last One
Yeah.
Standing. I can relate. And when you get in your car to go home, you go, did this really happen? This is great. I mean, that's the home run, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, I still get, you know, I did have like a very, very small fan base from Cicada when I was Allison Jane, right? So when I became, or when I went back to being Allison Solo and released Plutonian, I'd say I really had to start from the bottom up again. I had maybe, like, you know, I could count on two hands the amount of fans that I had from that old album that I released. But, you know, the most gratifying thing is when someone messages you out of the blue and says, you know, I still listen to Cicada all the time. It's one of my favorite records. That is
Wow.
what that's what makes my day, you know. That's what's like, man, okay, thanks for reminding me, like, you know, to keep going.
Like I said, I fell in love with Stuck in Yourself. I fell in love with My Divine Right. I mean, I had no problem with any of the songs. I'm a lyric type of guy. I want to understand the story. And certainly it's up to the listeners. Everybody's interpretation might be a little bit different compared to what you were thinking. But you know what? As long
Mhm.
as they can relate to it, it's a home run and a half. And you got a fan on YouTube who hit me up, as you saw. You got to get around to Daryl's house and jam with
I saw
Daryl. And
that.
I'm like, excuse me, what? I would love to do that, but he's never there. I mean, I'm like, I've seen him there like twice, and I introduced Denny Lane. If you never ever heard of the name Denny Lane, Denny Lane was in the Moody Blues, the original Moody Blues, and then he left, and he became Paul McCartney's right hand man per se in Wings. Paul McCartney in Wings, Denny
Hmm.
Lane, and then he does a show called the Moody Wings. So the first half of his show is Moody Blues song that he was part of. And the second half of the show, he plays Wing songs that he did with Paul McCartney and Paul's past ex-wife Linda, who passed unfortunately. And Denny came to Daryl's the second time now, and I introduced him. I'm all excited. I'm like, oh my God, I'm introducing Denny Lane. I mean, a Grammy Award winner, Denny Lane. And I get off the stage and I go right to the bar, and I know all the people there. And they give me my little gray goose, and they go, the boss is here. And I'm like, my wife is here? What are you talking about? And they go, Daryl is here. And I'm like, oh, whoa. And I had no idea. And I was just crazy Pat. And at the end of the show, the lights came on and security like escorted him out the door. And I'm like, there he goes. So yeah. He pops in here and there, and he pretty much stays to himself. He's got his own little table. But yeah, hopefully, I want to say it was Baby Oatmeal YouTube subscriber. I hope you watch this. I know you're going to watch this. If I can get Allison here back in, near Poughkeepsie, New York, because she was here once, she tells me.
Yes, I was.
I would love to get her on stage in Pauling at Daryl's, and I will definitely give her all the information and who handles the booking at Daryl's house. So Baby Oatmeal, I know she's amazing and she's talented, and that's why she's here today, because I support her and I love all her music. I saw somewhere, Allison, you're going to re-release a single actually coming up. I want to say like March 28th. Which single are we talking about?
Yeah, so I released a song in 2015 called Weekend Warrior.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever heard it, because I did have it. So basically, I had it up on Bandcamp. I took it down, and then I put it back up a few months ago. And then I decided to take it down because I just kind of wanted to focus on Plutonian. I wanted that to be the thing that people would see when they, go to that site. But I decided to put it out again. So it's going to be available on online retailers, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, the whole shebang, March 28th.
And buy it. Please just don't download it. Buy it. As I said, she's a hardworking person and putting it all together, and she's independent, and she can certainly use a couple of extra dollars, and again, buy a t-shirt and get a guitar pick and all.
Oh my God, the t-shirt looks fantastic on you. I love
it. I'm like, man, it's like, boom, I couldn't wait. And it was perfect to get it in preparing for our chat. No, it's all good. I saw you, speaking of t-shirts, you did a contest, and I said, I wanted to throw in another one. And I go, I can't do that. I already paid for my t-shirt. Let somebody else do it, which I thought was really unique and cool to give you an idea of what folks think that you can knock out of the park on a acoustic. Since I didn't know if did somebody win, not win. Did you get enough ideas?
Yeah. Someone won. One of my fans in New Brunswick, Matt Murray. So he won a t-shirt, he won my picks, and I think I'll probably put on another contest in the coming months. So, stay tuned.
I can't wait. I think I gave you, I know I gave you a bunch, but I think the one that you liked, there was maybe two, was Mamas and Papas, California Dreamin'.
Yeah.
And you said, right. Whoa. Did I give you Seals and Croft? What's the
You may have. There was someone else who recommended that one as well. Sometimes I get doubles, like for Going to California, my most recent cover. I had like 3 people request that. So I was like, okay, I got to do this. I got to learn this. So I just did it. And, I was a little bit apprehensive in the beginning. I thought, God, am I going to be able to pull this off? I mean,
yes, you can, man. You were great. I mean, any of those tracks, I mean, you just like, boom. And then you like shut it off, like, okay, I'm done. Do you practice it a few times and say, and do the video, and then watch
it depends on the song. It depends on the song. Like, when I uploaded my first video, the Blind Faith Can't Find My Way Home, I actually had no plans of ever uploading covers to a YouTube channel. I hadn't really entertained that. It wasn't something that I ever really wanted to do, to be honest, but I remember that day I was just really in the mood to learn that and play it. And once I learned it, I just thought, okay, well, why don't I just try posting it? Now I
Yeah,
have
but
a
then
YouTube
you added the headband, and I'm like, look at
channel.
this one.
Yeah, I like to get into costumes sometimes, and sometimes I just don't give a shit. I'm like, I'm just throwing on a t-shirt, I haven't brushed my hair yet, and it's just about a mood, right? Like for me, it's not, I know people want to see things, but for me, like, I'm not so much concerned about the perfect sound and the perfect angle and because then I just cloud my head and I've lost the emotion, right? Like it's like when I'm feeling something, I'm like, okay, I got to record this now. Like there's just, and some songs, you just bang out and you just nail, and then others, um, like going to California, I had to practice that a lot because finger picking is still a relatively new thing for me as a guitar player. It was just something that I never really explored, and I'm so glad that I've started to, because I love it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding it's kind of working an entirely different visceral, feeling to the instrument, and so that one I had to practice quite a bit. Like I was practicing that song for like a good week because learning and practicing simultaneously, right? But it's good to challenge yourself. So,
No, it's great. You're doing a great job. For my guitar gearhead folks, and I'm obviously not a musician, but they always ask that I ask a few guitar questions. What kind of guitar do you use? What kind of strings, Allison? What kind of amp? Walk me down that road so our gearhead friends know what you're into.
yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not really a gearhead myself, so my knowledge doesn't expand very far. But as far as my acoustic guitar, I've been playing a Larrabee. They're manufactured in British Columbia. Funny enough, I own this guitar. I've owned this guitar for 15 years, and that was long before I ever moved here to British Columbia. And I just fell in love with that guitar. I remember instantly, like walking into the music store. It was the first guitar that I picked up. It was like a magnet. I was just drawn to it, picked it up, played it for a little bit, and I just felt an instant kind of unification with it. And then I walked around the store and I looked around at a whole bunch of other guitars, and I came back to that one, and I have not left that acoustic since. And I've played, I've dabbled on other guitars. Like I've played Taylors and Martins and stuff, and I love them, but they're, for me, the Larrabee suits what I do, you know? So that's what I use. I'm using a discontinued model because I did buy it 15 years ago. It's an L03 Walnut recording series. And it's signed too. It's a handcrafted model signed by Jean Larrabee.
Wow.
And yeah, I love that guitar. And I did get a pickup installed in it, like, God, years ago. Unfortunately, I just haven't really been able to play a lot of electric guitar because I'm living in very tight confines, and the walls and the frames in this building are like all timber frames, so you can hear
the neighbors.
your neighbor, like, running the tap next door. So I think, oh God, I gotta be careful. Like I can't really go blast an electric guitar right now. And I mean, I do use my headphones and stuff, but so I have a signature guitar model.
I was gonna just ask you, do you have one?
Yeah. So Tony Edwards is a very, very talented musician and luthier who resides in the UK. And I actually never met him in person, but he was recommended to me to play organ on my album Plutonian. So we kept in touch ever since, and he decided to sponsor me. So he collaborated with me on a custom signature guitar, and it's called the Midheaven with P90 pickups. It's beautiful. I mean, I could get it out, but there is some information on his website. So if you go to tonyedwardsguitars.co.uk, you can find everything on there. And we were kind of trying to model it. I don't know. I mean, there's similarities to Fender because I've used Fender electric guitars for.
I was gonna say, did you have a lot of did you have a lot of input into it? Like what
Oh
what you
yeah.
like, what you don't like? You not too heavy on your shoulder, make it a little lighter. This pickup, that pickup? I mean, I don't know, but I figured I'd at least
Yeah.
ask you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because I was never a gearhead personally. Like I always just used instruments just to write songs. I never really paid attention to honing too much of a personal sound. Um, you know, I was kind of naive with some of the aspects of creating this guitar. I had to do my own research too. So Tony would ask me a question, he'd shoot me a question and say, well, do you like this better? Do you like that better? Then I'd have to say, well, I don't know. And I'd have to go read about it and research and, but I think we were sort of trying to go for sort of remodeling something similar to some of the Fender tonal qualities, because I've used Fender and I used Fender on my album Plutonian. It's a Fender Strat made in Mexico, a 95 model, and I love it. It's great. I absolutely love it. I've had that guitar that was my first electric guitar ever, and that's the only one that I've kept, throughout all my moves overseas and back. And, I sold most of my instruments. And as far as amps, I love orange amps personally. But, I have to kind of work on building a guitar rig. And it's kind of like working from scratch, So I'll be exploring lots of different things once I get to that level. But for me, primarily, the most important thing is writing the good song, And then
Absolutely.
all
Well,
that
good
other
for
stuff kind
you.
of, yeah.
I mean, the guy gives you a phone. I got my own signature guitar. I mean,
I know, it's amazing.
that's like a pinch me moment. It's like, what? You really
Yeah,
want
totally.
me? Like, that's cool.
Yeah, it totally was. And like, really Tony should get most of the credit because he's the one that directed it. It was like, again, he was asking me the questions. It wasn't the other way around, really. So I'd say that it wasn't so much a collaborative effort in the sense that it was really more him, but he asked what my preferences were, and even down to the gold top, like the
Yeah,
colors.
no. I mean, how do you say it's an Alison Solo signature guitar if you had no input on it? I mean, it's got to be something
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
whether it's like you said, whether it's the color or whatever that makes
yeah,
it
yeah.
you. Is it available that folks can buy it at his website?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's all on his website. So, and you can customize it like down to
Cool.
everything. Yeah.
We got to tell Tony you need another one. How about number 2? You're putting an
Yeah.
acoustic album out, Tony. Tony, if you're listening, we need another one before next year for the release of the acoustic. Come on, Tony. Step up to the plate. Do the right thing. Do you keep a journal, Allison, when you're songwriting, getting back to the songwriting bit? You keep a journal? Do you write the chorus first, or is it, guitar? Is it on the piano? How does this all formulate to get an Allison song?
First the emotion hits. So so whatever that may be, first that sense of urgency comes right from the emotion, and then it's like, okay, I need to pick this up. And I tend to not force anything. I don't like to contrive anything. So if I'm just not feeling it, then I'm not feeling it, and I leave it, and I wait until I am feeling it. And recently it's kind of like you get sort of like bits of sporadic information that come to you. So I've been picking up random pieces of paper by my bedside because suddenly, like, a lyric will come into my head. I'll be like, oh, I have to write that down. So I've got like a pile of scrap paper with just a bunch of random lyrics. Yeah. And then eventually, like, it all comes together. Occasionally you get those times where you pick up a guitar and you start singing and playing, and all of a sudden the song writes itself. And that happens occasionally, where you write it from front to back. And
which you just wrote on.
beautiful.
You just said that on Facebook like the other day. It was like you said, I had the guitar, and all of a sudden this thing came to my mind, and
yeah, I was about to check out for the night. I was about to kick rocks, and I just I was playing my guitar, and all of a sudden this idea came to me, and it led to another thing and another thing, and I'm pretty excited about this new song. But it's very different depending on the circumstances. I find, generally speaking, I'll pick up my guitar and, like, a riff will come to me, or I'm just like feeling it out. you know, and then I'll start singing along, and usually it typically tends to be gibberish because I'm just kind of humming out a melody.
Right.
And sometimes random words will come out, sometimes entire sentences will come out. And then I plug the lyrics in last, you know, generally that's how it works. And then I work on like structuring the song. So, you know, I'll have a riff and then I'll play around with like, you know, chord progressions and all that kind of stuff. So it just depends really. But
Have you,
a lot of it's,
go ahead.
yeah, like, you know, my single 3,000 Miles, the one that I released on YouTube and Spotify recently, that was a song that I recorded while I was recording Plutonian. And that was an improvised song, like from front to back. It wrote itself like live off the floor. I was just warming up before a session and the engineer hit the record button, you know, and it was pretty amazing. It was a magical moment. And all the lyrics wrote themselves. Like that was just an improvised song. It wasn't premeditated whatsoever. So again, sometimes that happens too. It just depends.
Excellent. Well, I love that. Anything else that we can promote that you're working on right now? Maybe a book, a soundtrack to a movie?
No, so really just the vinyl records that just came out, you know, I'm really excited about it. I know that they came out, you know, 10 months after the digital release because everything was kind of delayed because of, you know, COVID and stuff, and companies are inundated with stuff, right? And less workers, and it's totally understandable. And most people are patient. But again, this is the vinyl record.
Gotta go get it. Bandcamp.com, Alison Solo. Also, if
And
you
then the
want,
t-shirts as well.
get the
Yeah.
t-shirt. Look at it, man. It looks great on me. Get a guitar pick and go check her out and hit that subscribe button for Alison. Follow her also on Facebook. Alison, I can't never thank you enough for your time. I hope I got a big smile on your face. I hope I achieved that favorite interview, that crown you gave me. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, you already won that. You already achieved it. Yeah.
Excellent.
I had
Well,
so much fun last time, so.
I'm happy I got that crown, and I appreciate your support. And I can't wait to keep playing these tracks and playing the video with my project coming out soon, which I know you're going to be a big part of, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that. It's very cool.
Absolutely. Well, time to play Last One Standing on Plutonium. Go buy it. Go support Alison Solo. She's the best. British Columbia's #1 artist right there. Go check her out. Here it is. Last One Standing on Pat Soundbytes IGTV. Yeah!
Hey everybody, I'm Alison Solo. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you dig what I'm doing on my channel. And I've decided to do an acoustic version of my song Last One Standing, which is available on my album Plutonian on vinyl, and you can also give it a listen on my channel. For those of you wondering what those little sticky notes are on my door, those are my daily affirmations that I post just to keep me motivated. So here we go. I need a strong foundation, a sweet sensation. I need a high vibration to lift my life. Sometimes I need admiration, an occupation, some validation to feel alright. We seem to reach the sky when nothing's on our side. The last one standing high tonight. the old world decaying. We're in a brand new age. We've been waiting. Maybe I just want things easy. Taught to reach for the stars. Pushed out slow. Except for feeling I can't always be where you are.